connection for a minute. Lost it again, but I think I'm good. Scary stuff. Anyway, hey, how y'all doing? What up? Sorry, be trying to calm down. Everybody all right? All right. I'm scared. It's okay. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Let me get through my thank yous and then we'll get to it, all right? So, thank you for helping me wish my girlfriend a happy birthday. Yeah. Thank you for helping me wish her a happy birthday every year. And I said it right this time. I don't know why. What's up with the brain fart that I got? But every time that I go to wish her happy birthday on live, I always say happy anniversary. I don't know. So I got it right this time. So proud of myself. Thank you for helping me celebrate getting my car. I appreciate it. I do. Car loan. I don't hide nothing. Shit cost me $50K. But let me do some clarification, bro. So I was on break when I got the car. I've been had this car. I got this car back in January of this year. But I was on break from Facebook, so I was just sharing it with y'all now. You see, I didn't come back to Facebook. Yay, look what I got. Just gotta wait for a little bit, you know. Also, to clarify, I know through the years you guys have been hearing me say, I'm in a new car again. I was in a new car in 2022. I was in a 2022. 23, I was in a 2023 car. 24, I was in a 2024 car. Last year, I was still in a 24. This year, I'm in a 25, right? So the other cars I was getting through my company that I work for, they wouldn't mind. But I can use it as much as I want to, but they wouldn't mind. So that's how I've been in new cars for since 2022. So you don't have to worry about, oh, he think he big and bad because he in a new car. I've been in new cars, bro. And I got used to the technology in new cars through the company when I was getting new cars in a company that I worked for. So I'm used to all the, technology and buttons and all of that, the way people look at me, because I'm used to it. So just wanted to clarify that. We got a lot going on. I'm in Dallas. We got a World Cup here. England played yesterday. Last week it was the Netherlands and Japan. The Netherlands shut down a whole block because they do this traditional march. It's a lot going on. And Father's Day is coming up. Father's Day is Sunday, So I'm leaving for Houston tomorrow to go visit my parents for Father's Day. I haven't been down there in over 10 years. Like I've been telling y'all, I had been getting along with my family. Yes, even my parents. But we've gotten back, and I'm proud of that. I try. We're very different, but I think it can work. So I'll be down in Houston this weekend. Of course, my girlfriend's son just graduated. My daughter's graduating from college next year. It's a lot going on, as always. All right? But anyway, let's get to what we here to talk about today. And that's Epictectus. All right? So I hope you enjoyed the aphorisms 1 through 21. These are going to be aphorisms 22 through 40. Yeah. I get turned. Why am I scared? I'm scared because I'm back doing yoga now. I stopped yoga for a little bit to detach from it because I had been doing yoga for 15 years. Kind of forgot the benefits of it. And plus I wanted to detach from it. Do anything too much, you get attached to it. So I wanted to detach, and I'm back doing it really deep. I think this is my ninth month of doing yoga every single day. I get scared because the deeper I do yoga and meditate, the more visions I have. I hear everybody, oh yeah, I had this vision. I talked to this entity and I did this and I did that. And you're like, and everybody's like, wow, let me tell you something. People that really saw a vision and have really had a transformational vision with entities and deities, they ain't that excited about it. It's scary. Just like when I go over the books where, Secret Book of John, where John had a vision, he was scared. Hermes Trismegistus in the Corpus Hermeticum, Hermes Trismegistus was scared. Shit's scary, bro. So yeah, I'm scared of busting out and having a vision again. but I'm okay. I'm prepared. I'm ready. Other than that, let's go ahead and get into these aphorisms. Whole bunch of teachings that we got to go through today. Different teachings from different angles. But let's go ahead and get into it. Why don't we? Yeah. You ready? You came to see my nipples? Sorry. Jeez, I said sorry. Here we go.
Section 2 of The Golden Sayings of Epictetus by Epictetus. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org.
Shout out to LibriVox.
Recording by Leon Meyer.
Shout out to Leon.
The Golden Sayings of Epictetus by Epictetus.
Let's go.
Translated by Hastings Crossley.
Shout out to Hastings Crossley.
Aphorisms 22 to 40. 22. If God had made that part of his own nature which he severed from himself and gave to us, liable to be hindered or constrained either by himself or any other, he would not have been God.
That makes sense.
Nor would he have been taking care of us as he ought. If you choose, you are free. If you choose, you need blame no man. Accuse no man. All things will be at once according to your mind and according to the mind of God.
Wait, stop. Let's talk about this shit. So this is what I talk about, right? With the people that's throwing out conspiracies and fears and stuff every day, all day on Facebook and social media. What? You're not being, I don't know why you want to convince yourself that you're in danger. I don't know why you want to convince yourself that you have an enemy. I don't know why you want to convince yourself that you can be hindered or restrained. People love that shit. They love eating conspiracy theories. Why? The part, I told you, the part that God tore from himself and put in you, what everybody talks about, is to go within yourself, right? The God within yourself, the one within yourself. Okay? He tore a piece. It tore a piece of itself and put it in you. And if it put it in you and made it liable to be hindered or constrained, it wouldn't even be God. God doesn't sit there and fuck with you. You see what I'm saying? And he said, listen to me. If you choose, you are free. If you choose, you blame no man or nothing. If you choose, you are free. Okay? So a lot of people don't choose. They follow. They didn't make the choice within themselves. They follow. Therefore, they're in slavery. In slavery to what? In slavery to what they are following and didn't make their own decision and choice on. Therefore, they're not free. Okay? All right? So, be free. Okay? For example, Socrates wasn't in slavery when he was in jail because he was there with his own consent. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Okay? Let's continue to talk about it. Remember, you cannot be hindered or constrained. You're very powerful. We'll talk about it some more. Here we go.
23.
Let's go.
Petrifaction is of two sorts.
Whoa.
There is petrifaction of the understanding and also of the sense of shame.
Okay. Explain.
This happens when a man obstinately refuses to acknowledge plain truths and persists in maintaining what is self-contradictory.
Stop. Let's talk through it. We're using some bigger words. You know, he's very intelligent. You got to kind of break this shit down. Petrifaction. What is petrifaction? Petrifaction is the process in which a organic or an organism, right, goes through the process of becoming a fossil. It becomes fossilized. It becomes hardened. This is what you hear about when they say this person has a hardened heart. This is what they talk about in the Bible, having a hardened heart. Okay, petrifaction. That means the petrifaction of the understanding means that you have made yourself to be so hard you can't even gain understanding because you're hard as a rock. This is what they call hard-headed, petrifaction. Okay, and then you have a petrifaction of the sense of shame. Keep up with me now. You with me? Okay, so petrifaction of the sense of shame means that you're so hard you don't even care about being ashamed about anything. Throw out an example, Will, so they get it. It's okay, I got it. So let's talk about, I'm not getting political. I'm just putting out an example. Let's talk about President Trump. He just turned 80 years old. Why does he want to be in power? Sorry, I got off base. President Trump, you can tell when he talks when he says shit like grab her by the pussy, I'm just saying what he says and the crazy shit that he says, you can tell he has a petrifaction of the sense of shame because he's not ashamed of the dumb shit that he will say by accident. All of us do. That's a petrifaction of the sense of shame. And then he probably has a petrifaction of the understanding. Let's not pick on him. This can be anybody that we try to open their minds up on Facebook or something, and they just refuse to understand. So be careful of having a petrifaction of the understanding and a petrifaction of the sense of shame. You good? It's okay. You can re-listen. Here we go.
Most of us dread mortification of the body, and would spare no pains to escape anything of that kind.
Okay.
But of mortification of the soul, we are utterly heedless.
I'm sorry, we got to break this down again because he's using words that you might not know of. We're talking about mortification now. Mortification. Okay, so the mortification of the body, people are scared of. Mortification is a morgue, death, right? So the death of the body, everybody tries to stay away from dying. I don't want to die. Oh my gosh. Right? But the mortification of the soul, people are utterly heedless. Okay? Let me explain. When people on social media or Facebook or around you say these people have no soul, what they're saying is the reason in those people is dead. They call the soul reason or the mental ability. So if somebody doesn't have a mental ability to make sound decisions anymore, they say that person is soulless. Okay? So that's what they talked about back then. They called it the death of the soul. And we have plenty of people out there like that now. Okay? So I know you're scared that your body might die, but you might want to be more scared of your understanding and your intellect dying. You know, make sure your soul stays alive. Okay. She's a she. We're going to be talking about that next time in the secret book when we go through the mysteries. Here we go.
With regard indeed to the soul, if a man is in such a state as to be incapable of following or understanding anything, I grant you we do think him in a bad way. But mortification of the sense of shame and modesty, we go so far as to dub strength of mind.
I'm sorry, I just need to explain this one and then I'm going to let you listen, I promise. So, let's continue to listen. I'm okay.
24.
No, I want to do it. So when you talk about mortification of the, no, I'm good.
If we were as intent upon our business as the old fellows at Rome are upon what interests them,
here we go.
We too might perhaps accomplish something.
See, if we was intent on our work, like the old people in Washington are intent on their work, we might accomplish something. I just told you President Trump was 80. These rulers are old. They always been old. Even in Rome, you heard them. They was old. But they intent on their work. They focused on their work. See, if we weren't so busy typing on the couch and not doing nothing about what we're frustrated about and the changes that we want to see out here, and if we would try to start to be the change that we want to see instead of typing all these fears out, we might accomplish something. See, because those old people that's running countries, and I'm not just talking about the United States, I'm talking about the old people that's running Korea, the old people that's running Russia, all of that. They are focused. They're making moves. You see what I'm saying? And in order to make change, you got to make moves. All right? You have to make moves. They make moves. They don't do all of this. They move. So if you're not going to move, stop spreading all your typing and fears out. You're not going to do nothing. Here we go.
I know a man older than I am, now superintendent of the corn market at Rome.
I remember.
And I remember when he passed through this place on his way back from exile, what an account he gave me of his former life, declaring that for the future, once home again, his only care should be to pass his remaining years in quiet and tranquillity. For how few years have I left, he cried. That, I said, you will not do. But the moment the scent of Rome is in your nostrils, you will forget it all. and if you can but gain admission to court, you will be glad enough to elbow your way in, and thank God for it. Epictetus, he replied, if ever you find me setting as much as 1 foot within the court, think what you will of me. Well, as it was, what did he do?
You already know.
Ere ever he entered the city, he was met by a dispatch from the emperor. He took it and forgot the whole of his resolutions. From that moment he has been piling one thing upon another. I should like to be beside him to remind him of what he said when passing this way, and to add, how much better a prophet I am than you.
What then?
What then? Do I say man is not made for an active life? Far from it. But there is a great difference between other men's occupations and ours.
Listen.
A glance at theirs will make it clear to you.
Listen.
All day long they do nothing but calculate, contrive, consult how to wring their profit out of foodstuffs, farm plots, and the like. Whereas I entreat you to learn what the administration of the world is, and what place a being endowed with reason holds therein.
Yes.
To consider what you are yourself, and wherein your good and evil consists.
See, they was doing the same thing back then. I don't know why you keep on thinking there's something new up under that sun, because it's not. It just look different. They doing the same things. All they do is meet all day and think all day about how to make extra money, how to contrive their ways to make money out of these farm plots, and that's all they do. That's all they do. And us, we don't want you to think about the matrix and how to make more money, or how to be more successful, or how to manifest more. No, we want you to know yourself and understand the operation of this place, and know where your good and evil lies. That's what we focus on. We don't focus on all this other dumb stuff, bro. We're very different from them. I still work 40 hours a week. I work in the service industry, and that means I do a service for people, and I'm self-employed. I don't show up to work when somebody tells me to. Nobody tells me when to show up at work. Nobody tells me what time to show up at work. I show up at work whatever time I want to, and I leave whatever time I want to. You understand? Free. Self-employed. It's a kind of employment, but it's a self-employment. You see what I'm saying? That gives me time to focus on things that really matter. And in the meantime, I work in transportation. I've been working in transportation for the World Cup. I done met people from 6 or 7 countries in the last 2 weeks. It's a fulfilling job for me, you know, because I'm helping people, you know. But anyway, here we go.
25.
Let's go.
A man asked me to write to Rome on his behalf, who, as most people thought, had met with misfortune. For having been before wealthy and distinguished, he had afterwards lost all and was living here. So I wrote about him in a humble style. He, however, on reading the letter, returned it to me, with the words, I ask for your help, not for your pity.
Nothing.
No evil has happened unto me.
See, Epictectus thought an evil had happened to this man that asked for some help, because the man had been in high places, right? Like I was in high places in corporate. And now the guy is living where Epictectus lives. I informed y'all about Epictectus. He was exiled. So he was in a place of exile. So that's why he said he wasn't in those high positions and he was living here. So I wrote to him in a humble style. Shit, he sent me the letter back and said, bro, I didn't ask for your pity, I asked for your help. No wrong has happened to me. You see what I'm saying? People would think that wrong has happened to me. Ask the people in the corporate office. They'll be like, yeah, he kind of, went through a bad, I didn't go through a bad shit. No evil has happened unto me just because I'm not in a high position in the matrix no more. That doesn't mean that I'm in a worse place. Come on, bro.
26.
Let's go.
True instruction is this.
Is this.
To learn to wish that each thing should come to pass as it does.
Yes.
And how does it come to pass?
Disposer.
As the disposer has disposed it.
Listen.
Now he has disposed that there should be summer and winter, and plenty and dearth, and vice and virtue, and all such opposites, for the harmony of the whole. Have this thought ever present with thee, when thou losest any outward thing, what thou gainest in its stead.
Right.
And if this be the more precious, say not, I have suffered loss.
That's when I say that everything happens for the harmony of the whole. Everything. Everything.
That there should be summer and winter, and plenty, learn to wish that each thing should come to pass as it does.
Listen.
And how does it come to pass? As the disposer has disposed it. Now he has disposed that there should be summer and winter, and plenty and dearth, and vice and virtue, and all such opposites, for the harmony of the whole.
Yes.
Have this thought ever present with thee, when thou losest any outward thing, what thou gainest in its stead.
I had to run it back so you can understand what he's saying. He's saying what true instruction actually is. True instruction is just what I'm explaining to you. To let everything happen just as it happens. Not how you wish it should happen. Not how you expect it to happen. Not how you think you deserve it should happen. Let things happen as they happen. That puts you in a place of rest in heaven. If you wish for things to happen like you want them to happen according to your will, your expectation, and what you think you deserve, that's not true instruction. You're not in a heaven, you're in a hell. You're in a hell because you're going against what's already meant to happen. True instruction is to wish that things will happen how they happen. But please, 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 human, don't get it fucked up. Nobody's really worried about what you think, because what's going to happen is going to happen the way it happened, whether you like it or not. We're just trying to help you deal with your feelings and stay in the heaven of yourself. Stop fighting yourself and stop fighting water. Everything happens just as it's supposed to happen. Be thankful for the good, be thankful for the bad things equally as thankful as you are for the good things that happen. And when you start doing that, you'll feel yourself in complete peace. But when you keep on not being thankful for the bad things, praying that the bad things don't happen, and just loving the good things, you are going to continue to not be in balance.
And if this be the more precious, say not, I have suffered loss.
Because it happens for the harmony of the whole, not for you. So let's say you lost your place of living. That happened for the harmony of the whole. Well, what did I gain for that? You gained the harmony of the whole. Here we go.
27.
Let's go.
Concerning the gods, there are those who deny the very existence of the Godhead. Others say that it exists, but neither bestirs nor concerns itself, nor has any forethought for anything.
Okay.
A third party attribute it to existence and forethought, but only for great and heavenly matters, not for anything that is on earth.
Okay.
A fourth party admit things on earth as well as in heaven, but only in general, and not with respect to each individual. A fifth, of whom were Ulysses and Socrates, are those that cry, I move not without thy knowledge.
So this is nothing new. When we talked about forethought, I even released the mystery to you of who forethought is, which is the Holy Spirit, right? The triple mother, father, Barbella. We already talked about that. And as you can see, Epictectus has already been through the mysteries because he knows forethought. he just finished saying a word. So back then, we're talking about the Godhead. The Godhead means that you have the essence of God and you have become God in body. That's having a Godhead. Okay? God, Jesus. So when you get to that point of having a Godhead, again, some people don't even think the Godhead exists. And then, like he says, some people think that it exists, but it doesn't have forethought. That means it doesn't know what's going to happen ahead of time. That's like the demiurge. And then another group of people say that, yeah, it has forethought, but it only concerns itself with things, and it doesn't concern itself with things that's happening on heaven and the earth. It got bigger things that it concerns itself with, right? That's what some people think. Oh, God's not worried about little me. Oh, no, God's worried about little you. Let me finish, though. And then it's another party that says, oh, yeah, It does have forethought for things in heaven on the earth, but not specifically to every individual. That's why people think that they're alone and nobody cares about them and God is not paying attention to them and all of that bullshit. Because I'm about to go over the fifth part that he just went through, and that was Ulysses and Socrates, that believe that nothing happens within any individual out of all 8 billion people on earth without that source moving right along with them. So yes, source is paying great attention to you, and you are very important. I'll put it in a small example, and then we're going to keep on going. Look at an ant pile. You think all of those ants are not important. Not, every Pacific ant is important. A small group of the ants can die, but too many of them can't die. You see what I'm saying? Because each and every one of them are important. Importance is not in the number. Importance is in the movement. Here we go. 28.
Considering all these things, the good and true man submits his judgment to him that administers the universe. Even as good citizens to the law of the state.
Yes.
And he that is being instructed should come thus minded.
Okay.
How may I in all things follow the gods?
Yes.
And how may I rest satisfied with the divine administration?
Satisfied.
And how may I become free?
Free.
For he is free, for whom all things come to pass according to his will, and whom none can hinder.
Nope.
What then? Is
then?
freedom madness? God forbid.
God forbid.
For madness and freedom exist not together. But I wish all that I desire to come to pass, and in the manner that I desire.
You're mad.
You are mad. You are beside yourself. Know you not that freedom is a glorious thing,
yes,
and of great worth?
It is.
But that what I desired at random, I should wish at random to come to pass, so far from being noble, may well be exceeding base.
I think you got that.
30. You must know that it is no easy thing for a principle to become a man's own, unless each day he maintain it, and hear it maintained, as well as work it out in life.
It's not easy. We're going over the Hermetic 7. We're going over the 7 Hermetic, what I call universal principles. As he said, it's not easy for a principle to become your own. It goes through steps. First, you got to maintain the principle. Listen. First, you got to maintain the principle. Listen. First, you got to maintain the principle. You might have missed what I'm trying to say to you right now. The second one is that you have to hear it maintained. See, right now what I'm doing is allowing you to hear a principle maintained. You're hearing it every day. He said every day you have to maintain it. Every day you have to hear it. I told you we're not earthlings, we're earflings. It's through the ear. Okay? When Jesus talked to Mary, it's a mystery that Jesus put himself in the form of Gabriel and told her through the ear. And the word went through her ear and impregnated her. That's how she was a virgin. Sorry. But the third part, okay, so the first part is that you got to maintain it. The second part is that you got to hear it maintained. The third part is that you got to move and work it out in life. See, that's why I said you can't just hold it. You can't just hear it. You got to get up and move and work it out in life. That's the only way a principle can become your own.
31. What then is the chastisement of those who accept it not, to be as they are? Is any discontented with being alone? Let him be in solitude. Is any discontented with his parents? Let him be a bad son, and lament. Is any discontented with his children? Let him be a bad father.
Throw him into prison.
Throw him into prison. What prison? Where he is already. For he is there against his will. And wherever a man is against his will, that to him is a prison.
Okay.
Thus Socrates was not in prison, since he was there with his own consent.
Okay, stop. Sorry. I get real excited. It brings tears to my eyes. Sorry. I'm in love with this. I'm sorry. I think that people that are in love with knowledge and wisdom are becoming more and more rare. Again, I'm sorry for my tears. To get my emotions under control. So to not do true instruction leaves you to basically get in fights with yourself, like I was explaining. And he just released a mystery. We're going to talk about this next week, so I need you to maintain this mystery into next week. All right? You going to do that for me? All right. I can't see no comments or nothing. I don't know who watching or nothing, but I'm just saying. All right? So if you're alone, if you're scared and you don't like to be alone, then you need to force yourself to be alone. This is the same thing I talked about last time, right? I said, it scares me. I am scared right now, shaking a little bit. My palms are sweating and all of that shit. That's the human side of me. You know, anytime you feel yourself getting nervous or you start shaking, hey, that's that God power within you getting you ready. That don't mean that you need to run from it. Okay? Anything that you're scared of, you need to walk right through that shit. You hear me? So if you're scared to be alone, you need to practice being alone so the fear of being alone is gone. Okay? Let's talk about me. He said if you get discontented with your parents, then be a bad son and cry about it. I was a bad son, cried about it. I'm done now. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to be a bad son. See, some people are mad at their parents, but they don't want to be a bad daughter or son. Fuck that. Be a bad daughter or son. Let them know how mad you are. Heal with them. Get through it. Get back. I'm a father. So let's say you're discontented with your children. The father discontented with his children. He's mad at his children. But shit, let him be a bad father. See, he's mad at his children, but he doesn't want to yell at his children. You see what I'm saying? Because he doesn't want to come off as a bad father. Fuck that. Come off as a bad father. Heal with your kids. Sit them down and talk to them. Don't talk to them like they're a slave or they're like your employee. Talk to them with love, but be firm. You a man. Heal with it and go on about it. You know, and they say, well, lock that man up in prison. He's a bad father. What prison? This is the mystery I told you to hold on to right here. What prison? The prison that he's already in? This is what I was talking about earlier in the same live video. Anything or any place, any situation that you're in that you are against and don't like, that for you is a prison. This is why I said everybody going to work every day knowing they hate their job, can't stand their job, and they go through that same fucking prison and then they come out here and act like they free. You're in prison. I'm not telling you to quit your job. I'm telling you you're in prison. What did he say? Socrates was not in prison because he was there with his own consent. That means you need to practice going to that job that you hate. Not going to it, hating it, but finding things about the job that you like. Because, I mean, let's be totally honest. If you live in the United States, you're richer than 75% of the world. Just let that settle in. And if you got a roof above your head and access to an icebox, richer than 75% of the world, and you think that you got it so hard, you ain't even left this country, but yet you think the struggle is real. I'm sorry, baby, you ain't even seen struggle. Nor do you know struggle. It ain't that hard. You ain't one of the highest capitalistic nations in the world, baby, and one of the richest. It's okay. Socrates was in prison. He was there with his own consent. So he's not in prison. You see what I'm saying? Do things with your own consent so that way you ain't putting yourself in jail. All right? Be okay with the things that you do because it ain't that bad. No, you don't deserve better. What makes you deserve better? When so many countries are poor as fuck, what makes you be the one that deserves something? If you don't believe me, do like I did. Go to these poor countries. Spend time with the homeless like I did. Sorry, you're going to make me break out in tears. And you will see how blessed you are. That made me come back to this country and kiss the ground. I digress. Fuck.
32.
Fuck.
Knowest thou what a speck thou art in comparison with the universe?
Right.
that is, with respect to the body.
Say it.
Since with respect to reason, thou art not inferior to the gods,
Did you hear that?
nor less than they.
Right.
For the greatness of reason is not measured by length or height, but by the resolves of the mind. Place then thy happiness in that wherein thou art equal to the gods.
Place your happiness where you're equal to the divine. You heard what he said. And why is he talking about the universe? I thought we discovered the universe way after Epictectus' time. How does he know how small we are compared to the universe? And they didn't even have so-called telescopes back then. They was on it back then. They already knew, bro. But anyway, that ain't my point. I got off base. That's in regards to the body. You're a little speck. If you don't believe me, take an airplane trip and look down at the bodies. You'll see how fucking small you are. And you sitting there scared of these fucking humans that think they're in positions of power and you not even understand how small these little motherfuckers are. Sorry. That's in regard to the body. But in regards to the intellect and reason, just like the Bible says. Actually, the Bible says we made above the angels. He just said the same thing. We are equal to the gods. A god is not smarter than you. I've been saying this for years. I told y'all, yes, Hermes is my nigga. That's my god. But don't get it twisted. I teach him just like he teach me. Because what he knows and what I know, his reason and my reason is no different. You are not below the gods. I don't know who told you this. You are equal to them. So place your happiness there. I'm not just talking out the side of my neck. Kanye said this shit years ago. He said, I am a god, and everybody thought he was losing his mind. But Epictectus just said this too. Let's wrap it up.
33.
Let's go.
Asked how a man might eat acceptably to the gods,
Here we go.
Epictetus replied, if when he eats he can be just, cheerful, equable, temperate, and orderly, can he thus not eat acceptably to the gods? But when you call for warm water, and your slave does not answer, or when he answers brings it lukewarm, or is not even found to be in the house at all, then not to be vexed nor burst with anger, is not that acceptable to the gods? But how can one endure such people?
Slave.
Slave, will you not endure your own brother, that has God to his forefather, even as a son sprung from the same stock, and of the same high descent as yourself?
Listen.
And if you are stationed in a high position, are you therefore forthwith set up for a tyrant? Remember who you are, and whom you rule, that they are by nature your kinsmen, your brothers, the offspring of God.
You hear this? Hold on.
I paid a price for them, not they for me. Do you see whither you are looking, down to the earth, to the pit, to those despicable laws of the dead? But to the laws of the gods you do not look.
So, I know. I posted about being vegan and I'm big on diet. We even went through the same gospels of peace, right? With Jesus in it saying that eating meat is satanic and all of that. Different point of views. Just want you to be open to them. Okay? So, he said, how does people eat acceptably to the divine or the gods? He didn't get into specifics of what they ate, but of their actions and what they did and how they handled themselves and how they handled their attitude. Back then, they had slaves. Epictectus was a slave. He just had been set free and started doing philosophy, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, if you was a master and you have a slave, or you're a boss at a job and you have an employee and you tell your employee to do something, like he said, you tell your slave to bring some cold water and the slave brings it warm. You tell your secretary to bring you a cup of ice water and they bring you a cup of warm water. He said to not be vexed, which means to not be angry or frustrated. Is that not acting in accordance with the gods? See, people think they have a reason to be frustrated. Chill, bro. Chill. You don't run that person. That's what he was just explaining. You're not above that person. That's why he called him, you slave. Remember, Everybody here is a part of God. Everybody here is your brothers and sisters. You can't treat people like they lower than you. I tell y'all all the time, I'm not higher than y'all. I don't know more than y'all or any of that. We are the same family, like he just said, sprung from the same one. That's why secret societies call themselves brothers and sisters. Even in other countries, they call themselves brothers and sisters. I don't know why we don't call ourselves brothers and sisters within the United States. I think we need to do it more. And when you look at people like they're part of your family, then it makes it easier to give a homeless person money. It makes it easier to do for society when you see everyone as your brothers and sisters. See, it makes it easier to see a murderer. It makes it easier to see a pedophile. It makes it easier to see a rapist. It makes it easier to see people that so-called do bad things, because you understand that those people are still your sisters and brothers. Have some mercy. Have mercy.
34.
Let's go.
When we are invited to a banquet, we take what is set before us.
Right.
And were one to call upon his host to set fish upon the table, or sweet things, it would be deemed absurd.
Right.
Yet in a word, we ask the gods for what they do not give.
Right.
And that, although they have given us so many things.
So many things.
35.
We almost done.
Asked how a man might convince himself that every single act of his was under the eye of God,
Listen.
Epictetus answered, "Do you not hold that things on earth and things in heaven are continuous and in unison with each other?" "I do," was the reply.
Listen.
"Else how should the trees so regularly, as though by God's command, at his bidding flower, at his bidding send forth shoots, bear fruit and ripen it, at his bidding let it fall and shed their leaves, and fold up upon themselves, lie in quietness and rest? How else, as the moon waxes and wanes, as the sun approaches and recedes, can it be that such vicissitude and alternation is seen in earthly things?
Right.
If then all things that grow, nay, our own bodies, are thus bound up with the whole,
Listen.
Is not this still truer of our souls?
Thank you.
And if our souls are bound up and in contact with God, as being very parts and fragments plucked from himself,
Yes.
shall he not feel every moment of theirs as though it were his own, and belonging to his own nature?"
Sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry. I see so many people that think that nobody feels what they go through. If you was listening, God himself feels everything that you go through. How could he not? When a part of himself, when a part of itself is in you, every time you hurt, it feels it. Every time you're stressed, it feels it. How can it not? Sorry. Sorry. I'm sorry. So the question was, how do I know that every act and everything that I do is in accordance with God? If a murder was to ask me, and it has happened, how do I know, Will, that God still loves me and cares about me? And Epictectus said the same thing that I would say to someone, as above, so below. He said that things in heaven and on earth are continuous and they depend on each other. That's the same thing as above, so below. It's not a difference between heaven and earth. They're continuous. They depend on each other. You know I'm not talking crazy, because Uranus and Gaia are married. That's heaven and earth, or earth and sky, however you want to call it. We talked about this in the Tao Te Ching. When Lao Tzu was talking to his pupil, and his pupil kept on saying, "I'm such a bad person." And I see so many people on earth doing bad things. Look at these posts all over Facebook and social media. Everybody says the world is all fucked up. And Lao Tzu said himself, that's Taoism. Don't you believe it? Don't you believe it? Don't ever think that the sins of humankind, remember how much of a little speck you are. Don't believe that your sin is that much to erase the thou within you, or the God that is within you. That peace that he tore from himself and put in you is no sin that you can do on this planet that can erase that. And when you come to understand that, you will stop judging people. You will stop thinking people are worse than you, and you will stop thinking that you're better than people. You will be on an even plane, and you will show some fucking mercy within yourself. Shit.
36.
Let's go.
But, you say, I cannot comprehend all this at once.
Who said?
Why, who told you that your powers were equal to God's? Yet God hath placed by the side of each a man's own guardian spirit, who is charged to watch over him, a guardian who sleeps not nor is deceived.
Yes.
For to what better or more watchful guardian could he have committed which of us?
Yes.
So when you have shut the doors and made a darkness within, remember never to say that you were alone.
You're not alone.
For you are not alone, but God is within, and your guardian spirit. And what light do they need to behold what you do?
That's what I've been saying. That's what I've been. This was thousands of years ago that this was written, and they still telling you. Well, a little bit over 1,000 years. You're not alone. That guardian spirit. You never heard of the Guardians? Shout out to the G. You never heard of the Guardians? You never read The Republic by Plato? Read it, and you'll see as guardians in society. And then you have a guardian spirit. I mean, I'm not speaking out the side of my neck. This is what we call your guardian angel. You have that always with you. Like he said, you have the part of God that he tore from himself and gave to you, and you also have, that's part of himself. You also have your guardian angel. And that guardian angel is never deceived. Never. Nor does it sleep. It's always awake, always ready, always with you. Always. Find out the name of it. Everybody got a different one that got a name. My guardian angel, I know who it is. Name's Hermes. Straight up. But seriously though, you're never alone. So he said when you made a darkness within yourself, don't say, oh, I'm alone, because you put this dark vibration within yourself. You was never alone. Ever. All right, here we go.
To this God you also should have sworn allegiance, even as soldiers unto Caesar. They, when their service is hired, swear to hold the life of Caesar dearer than all else. And will you not swear your oath, that are deemed worthy of so many and great gifts? And will you not keep your oath when you have sworn it? And what oath will you swear? Never to disobey, never to arraign or murmur at aught that comes to you from his hand.
That's my oath.
Never unwillingly to do or suffer aught that necessity lays upon you.
Yep.
Is this oath like theirs?
No. Listen.
They swear to hold no other dearer than Caesar. You to hold our true selves dearer than all else beside.
Yep. Hold on, I got a phone call. Should have turned my ringer thing off. Okay, I think it's gone now. So, dang, now it made me change my train of thought.
Is this oath like theirs? They swear to hold no other dearer than Caesar.
Okay.
You to hold our true selves dearer than all else beside.
I remember now.
37.
So, it's funny because I just got in a conversation with somebody trying to, argue with me, telling me that I took an oath, and I'm trying to tell them as a Freemason, I did not take no oath. Not the oath they think I'm talking about. You see the oath that everybody takes. And we don't even call it an oath. We call it an obligation. It's not an oath. And you take that obligation based on what you're focused on and what you study. I am focused on and I study gnosis. So yes, I took an obligation to make sure that I spread the gnosis, the knowledge of light, to every human being that I can. That's the vow I took within myself. The obligation that I have, that is my work to sing to God. It ain't got nothing to do with any of these giving an oath to a secret society, bro. But that's who you should be obedient to. Right? Just like people are obedient to Trump, just like people are obedient to the leader of Korea and all of that. Take your oath to follow that one. And like he said, not to be mad or murmur. That means to, oh man, I can't stand this within yourself of anything that happens, because some things has to happen by necessity, which means that it's necessary. Right? We explained this. Just like when you take your dog to a vet, you trying to explain to your dog it's okay, you got to take it to the vet. Dog ain't trying to hear none of that shit. Right? But in the end, the dog is helped. You see what I'm saying? But out of necessity, you got to do that. So that's what God does. It take you in the car, take you somewhere, you scared as I don't know what. It's okay. You'll be better afterwards. Here we go. It's not for you to understand right now.
How shall my brother cease to be wroth with me? Bring him to me, and I will tell him. But to thee I have nothing to say about his anger.
If somebody come and tell you that somebody else got a problem with them, stop talking to them. Go to that somebody else and create some peace. Stop creating mess and gossip and friction, bro.
38.
We almost done.
When one took counsel of Epictetus, saying, What I seek is this, how even though my brother be not reconciled to me, I may still remain as nature would have me to be.
It takes time.
He replied, All great things are slow of growth. Nay, this is true even of a grape or of a fig.
It takes time.
If then you say to me now, I desire a fig, I shall answer, It needs time.
I told you.
Wait till it first flower,
Yes.
then cast its blossom, then ripen. Whereas then the fruit of the fig tree reaches not maturity suddenly, nor yet in a single hour, do you nevertheless desire so quickly and easily to reap the fruit of the mind of man? Nay, expect it not, even though I bade you.
So even though I bade you, even though we go over all this knowledge and wisdom, stop expecting yourself to grow and understand everything so fast just because I understand it. I told you I've been studying this shit over 20 years. It takes time. Give yourself time to grow. Stop trying to grow too quickly. Stop trying to, scroll through every YouTube video and fill yourself up with so much knowledge because you think you're going to grow quicker. No, that makes you grow slower. Okay? It's never too late. Stop tripping on people being younger than you and they've grown further. Oh, well. Take your time, step by step, day by day. Shout out to the third pig, brick by brick, and build your foundation of yourself until you get to the point that he was just talking about, that the dude came to him and said, I want to stay within myself and act according to nature, even though my brother is wroth with me and mad at me and stuff. It's hard to stay and living according to nature when you got other shit going on too. You have to give yourself time to practice staying in according with nature, even when you got friction in your life. Take some practice. We almost done.
39.
Let's go.
Epictectus had a shoemaker whom he sold as being good for nothing. This fellow, by some accident, was afterwards purchased by one of Caesar's men, and became a shoemaker to Caesar. You should have seen what respect Epictectus paid him then. How does the good Felician? Kindly let me know. And if any of us inquired, What is Epictectus doing? The answer was, He is consulting about so-and-so with Felician.
Didn't he just sell?
Had he not sold him as good for nothing, who had in a trice converted him into a wiseacre?
I tell you, boy.
This is what comes of holding of importance anything but the things that depend on the will.
That is so funny to me because it still happened. What he said was like, let's say somebody used to make art, right? The art studio fired their ass, right? Now they make art for the museum at the Capitol of the United States, right? So now the art museum that fired them, that fired that person, now they think highly of that person because that person is now working for the U.S. doing art. But you fired them and told them they weren't nothing. So don't try to reach out to them and say, oh, can you do art for us again? No, you just fired them. And the only reason you want them to do art again is because they got a higher position somewhere else. That's all. I just thought it was a funny story because I think it still happen now. You know, people write entertainers, actors, and all of that off like they ain't worth nothing, and then all of a sudden they start blowing up, you know? Anyway, I just thought it was funny.
40. What you shun enduring yourself, attempt not to impose on others.
Okay.
You shun slavery. Beware of enslaving others.
Okay.
If you can endure to do that, one would think you had been once upon a time a slave yourself.
It's slavery.
For vice has nothing in common with virtue, nor freedom with slavery.
That's it.
End of section 2.
That's the end of section 2. So thank you. Sorry that I got so emotional. I kind of knew I was going to get emotional, but hey, I tried to contain it. That last part, treat others like you want to be treated. That's all it's saying. Golden rule, been here. You know? You don't like nobody yelling at you, don't yell at nobody. You don't like nobody cussing you out, don't cuss nobody out. You know, that's all. You don't like nobody gossiping about you, don't gossip about everybody else. You know, pretty simple. Pretty simple. And these are what I call teachings, because you can have mysteries, but if you don't have the teachings to help you go through life, the mysteries help you understand what goes on in the next life and how divine you are. But right here, right now, you have a piece of the divine, but you have more physical things going on, and you need to know how to work through that, right? Your feelings, your emotions, your wants, your desires, your lust, your envy, your jealousy, your slothfulness. You need to understand how to work through that stuff. And that stuff is, to me, I think, philosophy did a lot for me, especially philosophers like Epictectus, Stoic philosophers, helped me really understand how to still live here, because my head was just so caught up in the mysteries. I'm light. I'm the son of light. I don't care about nothing to go on here. Whoa. As above, so below. You need to care about shit that go on here, and you need to understand how it corresponds, you know. But anyway, I like talking. So thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it. Like I said, I don't even know who's watching. I keep that stuff covered because I feel like I get all excited when I see people commenting and hearts and shit. So I pulled a pull down on my screen, so I can't see none of that stuff, you know? But other than that, thanks again so much for watching. I hadn't went live since like last Monday. Shit, I missed y'all. I'll be live, of course, next week. We'll continue sorry. As you can see, I need to wrap it up because my memory is leaving. We will go through the female series and finish the secret book of John, and that's the mystery series type stuff in the mysteries, and wrap that up. And then, of course, the week after next, we'll be back to the Kabbalion, you know. But other than that, what's the day? Thursday? It is Thursday. You know, I heard Portugal was in Houston yesterday, and I'm headed to Houston tomorrow. So I hope everybody's having fun for the World Cup stuff and all of that. Welcome everybody to America. I get to talk on my phone to my girlfriend while I'm doing my transportation stuff. I was like, hold on, baby. Y'all have a great day. Enjoy yourself at the World Cup. I was dropping them off at the World Cup. I was like, yeah, welcome to America. We in this bitch. Be representing my country, bro. This their first time over here and shit. Oh yeah, you gonna feel America. Shout out to everybody. They all happy because they get to eat Texas food and American food. They're like, it tastes so great. It's bad. It's so good. Man, that stuff got addictive stuff in it that make you think it's so good, but I'm glad they enjoying it, you know. But I'm done talking, man. Y'all know I will talk all day. Let me go ahead and wrap this up. I got shit to do. Always adulting, man. I hate adulting, but it is what it is. I hope y'all have a good Friday tomorrow and a great weekend. Shout out to all the fathers. Happy Father's Day. You know what I'm saying? And all of that. And other than that, I think that's all that I got. I think that's all I got. I love y'all so much. Flip up my screen here. Oh, hi. Oh, it is comments. Damn. I ain't even know. But I'll talk to y'all later, okay? Thank you for coming to see my nipples. Thank you for crying with me and shit. I appreciate it. Sorry, I'm Pisces. I'm emotional and shit. And I'm authentic and I don't mind showing my vulnerability, you know? And I had to get to that point too. All right. I will talk to y'all later. And other than that, I love to stick my tongue out